Hi, it's me, Chio. Welcome. We are now on episode 6 of The Smart Money Woman. And can I start by saying this? Remember how last time I said that we were on an upward path, that we're finally getting to the peak of the entertainment of the show that was getting so much better? Well, it's crashed. The show has begun to fall again in this episode 6. But before I get into why I'm saying that, let's go into the book. Let's just at least enjoy the book, if nothing else. So you know the guy that I said isn't that great an actor? Well, they finally introduced him to us proper in the book. His name is Sola. And I don't know if they were trying to make us like him or what the goal was, but right from the beginning, he's showing us that he's not someone that can be easily liked. And I understand the enemies to lovers trope that people love, but this is annoying guys to whatever they will be, if they will be anything. And why I'm saying this is because, like, the first instance, like, he's supposed to be from this other big company, and she's supposed to pitch a meeting, pitch a proposal, whatever. And like the first thing they show us is him going through this thought process, basically like sizing her up and thinking she's like this girl that coasts by and everything. And while that is true, he doesn't really know her. 1, 2, even if you think one thing, you cannot actively make an effort to put someone in that position, especially not doing work at an actually important meeting that is not only that is there for. Like, other people want this thing for their business, the company, their own business people. So I don't understand why he felt the need to try and put her on the spot to make her look bad. Because if it turned out bad, she would have lost the business for her company, just not herself. And your company also would not live there in a pleasant mood. So yeah, I didn't understand why he was trying so hard to put her in a bad position when he doesn't actually know her. So that's my first beef with him, and I don't see his relevance. But the meeting goes well, and Zuri in the book wants to travel to see her mom. And on her way, she runs into him again at the airport. And there's this like few seconds conversation kind of thing, and he invites her to come to the business class, first class area, like the lounge. And she's hesitant, but then he says, "I don't bite." Now, I've heard that phrase so many times, and sometimes it works. But seriously, can people not go around saying the phrase "I don't bite" when there is nothing in that situation that prompted the phrase? Like, the only people that are allowed to say "I don't bite" are vampires and other supernatural creatures that do in fact bite. But she is okay with his weird statement, and she goes with him to the business class. On her way there, he decides to help her carry her bag, and to her is this gentlemanly act. But to me, like, you can't touch my bag if I don't know you. Like, reflex would have me hitting you with that bag. Like, you can ask me, just ask me, can I help you with this? And if I want your help, I'll say yes, thank you. But not you just picking it up without telling me, you can't touch my property. Like, boundaries, please. And it's clear he doesn't have boundaries because he goes ahead to put his hand on her back when he's like walking her into the room. Like, seriously, you don't have to touch everybody. You don't have to touch every female you come across. Like, space, please. But it's fine, she's fine with it, and they are in the room, and now they start this discussion. And because she's from the abroad, he decides to bring up if she knows how to speak her language, because of course, if you don't live in Nigeria, or if you speak proper, you probably don't know how to speak your language. And while I cannot defend myself, that is not true. 1. Second, can we just stop with the whole "oh, you don't know how to speak your language" thing? First, we are in a country where our first language is English, like the national language is English. Yes, there are languages older than that. Yes, it's good to know how to speak your mother tongue, but from school, from life, like everything in the country, if you're trying to get like a proper education, sets you up to speak, and in some cases, in some schools, only speak English. Like, you actually get punished when you speak a different language, even if it's your language. So yes, that happens to a lot of children, and it's like in your childhood that you learn how to speak languages easily. Another thing is, not everybody has the ear for languages, okay? Like, I have tried, and yes, this is a personal rant at this point. I have tried learning languages, like repeating over and over, getting apps with different things, class, everything. But languages, like words, they don't stick. It doesn't stick for everyone. So if that was not my first thing to learn, chances are I probably would not learn the language. So can people stop trying to shame people into learning languages? Because newsflash, shaming people into learning things hardly ever works. And honestly, no matter how well informed this guy is about financial management and how he's able to be rich, a young rich guy who has good principles, money wise at least, like with everything I've said about him, like if I meet someone like that, if I'm around someone like that, like everything else just it doesn't seem important anymore. Like when you start picking up like these little phrases people do, and it's like, what are your priorities really? What are you looking for? Like why are we having this conversation? And he nails the coffin shot when she brings up her issue being broke. Because his response is, how can a fine girl like you be broke? And I don't know. I don't know what having a fine face has to do with making money. Like, unless she's a model or doing something that her money income is her face, the two don't correlate at all. They don't meet. So how can you ask why fine girl is broke? Because her work sucks, because she can't manage money, because she doesn't have a good job, because of so many million other reasons except for her physical appearance? I don't know, it's just an idea. I'm not sure. Maybe there are other reasons why someone will be broke besides this. And when she reviews being broke to him, I'm wondering what is wrong with this girl. Zuri, seriously, what is wrong with you? This guy, for all intents and purposes, is a stranger. In the book, this you've only met him once. The conversation you had with him wasn't even pleasant in the office, and it was a business setting. So why are you telling this person that you're trying to learn their business that you are broke, and telling him why you're broke? Like, telling him how badly you are at managing money kind of like reflects poorly on the company, because if the point is for the company and you're the representative to know how to manage the funds they're going to give you guys for their business, I don't think you should go around telling them how bad you are at managing money. Just an idea again. So yeah, I don't understand. Like, even besides that, I don't understand why someone reveals so much information to a I barely know you. Like, one thing to reveal to family and friends, one thing to reveal to a complete stranger that you know you never meet again in your whole life, but completely different to reveal it to a stranger who you're going to be meeting continuously in a professional environment. No. And of course, even as he's not one of my favorite characters, we have to get an internal monologue. We have to see his thought process. And he describes Zuri as an attractive but not conventionally beautiful girl, like in his mind. Why? Why? I don't know if the writer was going with when you describe someone like that, that's a positive, or this is how men think direction. I really don't know, but I'm still wondering why we had to go there at all. Because if you find someone attractive, end it there. Like, that statement, I find you attractive, whether you're saying out loud or in your head, that's the statement. There is no reason to go ahead to like, but not in a conventional way. You're not conventionally beautiful, but I still find you attractive. I still think you're pretty. Like, what was the need for that extra statement? Like, if your personal feelings, like, as pieces I of the beholder, it's subjective. So if you already find the person pretty and attractive, why then compare the person to the standard of beauty? There's really no need at all. So I don't understand if he thought he was giving her a compliment in his head. She's not like other girls. She's beautiful but not beautiful. I really don't know, but it irked me. It irritated me so much. And at this point, I'm thinking, can random characters stop having their own monologue? Like, we don't need to see how you think about situations. And like the worst part, like I said this before, like the worst part about this, because right after they think these thoughts that we don't really care about, they go ahead to make statements that are like 100% the same thing they just thought about. It's one thing for the main character to do it. It's one thing for it to be only your internal monologue. But for some that we don't care about to have the internal monologue and still have the dialogue of the exact same conversation, like almost word for word, paragraph long conversations. I don't know. I don't know if that's I don't know. And like basically the conversation they have throughout is about how Zuri seems like a smart girl who can stand her own or whatever, but she clearly doesn't have direction. So this is like a conversation about him giving her money management, financial tips and everything. And he's talking about like setting her goals and all that. And I'm not even going to get into the lesson of this one because it's more financial savings, like strategies and all that. But it's like, I'm just so tired of hearing or reading this man talk. Like, can we move on? But like, that's where we do move on, and the chapter is over because like the whole thing was just about him, apparently. So yeah, that is where the chapter ends, and I'm wondering, what can they do in this series? Like, this episode, what other extra story can they add? Like, we're seeing that they're adding more stories with other characters. So what is going to happen in the episode is going to like be more interesting. Maybe there'll be even more rapport with the Zuri and with the guy Sola. And there wasn't nothing. Like, it starts off again with the boss telling Zuri about the meeting they're supposed to have. And the same concept of it, oh, you have like 1 day or you have 2 days to prepare for this meeting that they clearly haven't been prepared for this big thing we need. And I asked myself the question, like, Zuri did well when she entered the office, but she's been going downward. She hasn't been doing great. She's on probation, so she's not like a trustworthy employee at this point. You just had to lay off some employees because you're not doing well and you need money. You guys are like in a rut, a big rut, and you need this money. A big company comes with like a deal, a once in a lifetime deal for you guys, and you need this deal to stick. And you decide the best person to put on this project is the person on probation who hasn't been doing well, and they only have 24 to 48 hours to be prepared for it. I know I don't work in a company, I don't own like a company, but I don't think that's a wise decision to make as an employer. I don't think so. But from there, we don't get to see how that turns out, although we've already read the book. We go into like the other people's lives, like the other friends, and nothing is happening. It's just ads and ads and ads and more ads. And there is no story happening in this episode, like nothing at all is happening. Like, they just keep showing us scenes that stretch on longer than actual ads. Why? So we get into Adeswa's life and we find out that Adeswa has a joint account with her husband. And I'm wondering why. Why do you have a joint account with your husband? Like, I'm not saying joint accounts are stupid, but they are pretty close to stupid. Like, it's a setup. Like, it's honestly just a setup, especially if you guys are not equal. If you're not making the same or close to the same amount of money, if you don't have the same spending habits, if you're both not like on the same wavelength on what is a priority, then a joint account is just a setup, and one person is going to lose, which is clearly what she did to herself, because of course he overspends the money in there. There's nothing she can do about it. It's sad. But at this point, I don't feel sad for anyone. I'm just angry, about the situation, because like, get out, get out of the situation. And he's not only spending money, but he's spending the money on rubbish like drinks and girls. And the girl in question he's spending this money on is Chinasa. Chinasa is the girl who's spending their family money on. And like, I have a question. Like, I'm just wondering, like, Chinasa's mentality here, because she's the person that knows everybody's business. I wonder if she doesn't realize that this guy is broke. Like, he might sustain him for a few days, weeks, or months, but he's ultimately broke. And if his wife doesn't sponsor him, then you get nothing. Like, women that make those decisions to go with married men already are rubbish. Second thing is women that make decisions without realizing that the married men are the broke ones. I don't know if I should feel bad for you or laugh at you. Like, I don't know what you think you're going to achieve. But here we are, he's spending her money on this random girl, and when she sees the alert and he comes home, they have like a conversation about it, which is just him shouting at her and telling her she doesn't believe in his dream, that he has a contract coming in, but this is like an old story he keeps peddling, that oh, he landed this deal, he landed that deal, but the deals never go through. I wonder why. Maybe it's because he's actually not making these deals. Maybe it's because he's spending all his time at bars and wasting time with girls. But yeah, she cowers before him and he shouts at her, and that's when their story in this episode ends. And we're back to Zuri, who is preparing for the meeting and has a nightmare about it, and I'm on page for her. Yes, I'm running through this because nothing really happens. And despite the chapter being about Zuri, he kind of more is about Adeswa and Tammy, like basically anyone else that is not Zuri. And we still don't see her go for this meeting. We don't see the meeting play out if she did well. We don't see the airport scene. Of course, we won't see the airport scene, I think, because in the series they changed it from her traveling to see her mom to her not needing to travel. I don't know how that's going to play out. But basically nothing happens with Zuri. So that's where it ends, and I was just staring at the TV like, where's the rest? Where is the story? The actual episode? Like, what happens in this episode? Not much. That is the answer. And that is why I was disappointed. Annoying guy, waste of time episode. And I will stand by those words. So that is my recap and review of The Smart Money Woman Chapter 6 and Episode 6. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.